Hello, good morning students, and welcome back once again to another video for the class 10 light chapter. So in the previous video we studied about the different topics that we studied in the reflection topic. Now we are moving on to another topic, that is refraction of light. First one was reflection, this one is refraction. Okay. So what does refraction mean? We'll start with the examples. Okay, if you remember, you might have seen somewhere that when you watch an object or see through an object that is transparent, you might see that it is somewhat a little bit different. Let's say that you are placing a pencil in a glass of water. If it is a transparent glass, you might see that the pencil is somewhat magnified, or it is bent a little bit. If you observe or place a glass slab on a paper and then you see the words through the glass slab, you might see that the words are a little bit raised from the book. So they appear to be a little bit higher than what they are if you are observing from the top. So it happens because of this phenomena that is refraction of light. Now why does this happen? This happens for a reason when a light enters from one medium to another medium. Now what are the mediums around us? So we have studied from standard 8 that there are three mediums around us, that is solids, liquids and gases. There is one more, that is vacuum. Now we know about that. So outside our atmosphere there is vacuum. Vacuum means nothingness, there is nothing. No medium is known as vacuum. Okay? So basically we come into contact with four different mediums when the light is traveling. So light can travel in all these mediums, okay, as long as it is transparent. Other thing is that what happens to the light because of this thing. So let's say that we have two mediums, that is medium 1 and this is medium 2. Okay? Let's say that this medium 1 is actually air. This medium 1 is air, that is everywhere around us, and this medium is water or any liquid. Both are transparent medium. Now what happens is, when a ray of light is entering from air to water, now which one of this medium is denser medium? Denser means having more density. So in water, you know that the particles are more closely packed, the molecules. Okay, so basically water is a denser medium compared to air. Okay, what happens is the ray of light, it is supposed to go in a straight line like this. Okay, but there will be a change in its path, so it will now travel in this direction. The ray of light will still travel in a straight line. It is just that when it is entering from one medium to another medium, it will change its path or direction a little bit. This phenomena is called refraction of light. Okay? I will repeat the definition. The change in the path of a ray of light when it enters from one medium to another medium. Okay? Now imagine the exact opposite. Let's say that this is water. Let's say that this is water now. I am saying this is water. Medium 1 is water and medium 2 is air. So now medium 1 is a denser medium and medium 2 is a lesser medium. So when the ray of light is traveling from a denser to a lesser or a rarer medium, then it is supposed to go in this path. So it will now move in this direction. It will change its path a little bit. So in both the cases, if it is going from a denser to a rarer medium, it will move away from its original path, and when it is going from rarer to denser, it will move on the other side of its original path. Now how to know that which one is a denser and a rarer medium? It will not always be mentioned to you. If you remember when we studied about reflection, okay, so when a reflected ray of light is incident on a surface, at this point this is called point of incidence, and we have a normal like this. Normal is a ray of light perpendicular to the surface, so in the same way we have a normal over here as well. will define the path of the of the ray of light when it enters from one object to other object, from one medium to other medium. Okay, so let's say that the ray of light is entering from a rarer to a denser medium. That means it will move towards the normal, and when ray of light is entering from denser to a rarer medium, then it will move away from the normal. Okay, so this is the phenomena of refraction of light. I will draw both the diagrams separately so that you can understand. Okay students, so a ray of light enters from rarer medium to a denser medium, then it bends or it changes its path towards the normal, and if a ray of light enters from denser medium to rarer medium, then it will move away from the normal. So this was its original path. This is where it was supposed to go. Similarly, this is where it was supposed to go. Now it is going away from the normal. Okay? Shifting from its original path, away. So this phenomena you have seen many a times. You might observe that if you place a glass slab or a heavy, transparent block, or even if it is of plastic, you place it on a piece of paper or on a book, and you observe the words or sentence through that piece of heavy plastic block, transparent of course, then you will see that the words are a little bit raised from its original path. Also, try this at home. Once again, take a transparent glass, okay, place your pencil inside it, and you will see that it is crooked a little bit, it will be a bent shape, okay, and also place a lemon inside a glass as well, and you will see that it is a little bit magnified and its shape seems to be changed a little bit. This is all because of phenomena of refraction. Okay, okay students, so when we studied reflection, we studied about the laws of reflection. Similarly, when we are going to study refraction, there are a couple of laws as well. First of all, let's see on the rays and mark out the points. So this is incident ray, like before, incident ray. This is refracted ray. Previously it was reflected ray, now it is refracted ray. Okay? Refracted ray. In both the cases it is the same thing. This is incident ray, this is refracted ray. Okay? Now, in the previous case when we studied reflection, if you remember, this was angle of incidence and this was angle of reflection. Similarly, we have over here, and they both were with the normal. So similarly, we are going to do the same thing over here. This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. Now this is where our laws come into play. If you remember, the first law of reflection, it was that angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. So the value of angle of incidence and angle of reflection is same. But in this case, you know that this is the angle of incidence, but the ray has now bent a little bit, it has changed its path a little bit towards the normal. That means angle of incidence and angle of refraction are not same. So that is not the law, but just for your understanding purpose. Don't mention that angle of incidence and angle of refraction are same. They are not possible in refraction. So if a ray of light is refracted and a phenomenon of refraction is happening, then the angle of incidence and angle of refraction are not same. Don't make this mistake. However, the second law, if you remember, that incident ray, reflected ray and the normal, they all lie in the same plane. That is still true for the refraction. Okay, so the first law of refraction is that angle refracted ray and normal, they all are in the same plane. They all are in same plane. Now this law was the second law for the reflection purpose, but for this one, this is the first law. That is, incident ray, refracted ray and the normal, they all are in the same plane. Okay. Now the second law of refraction is a little bit different. Okay. So the second law states that the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. I repeat my statement. The second law of refraction states that the ratio of sine of angle of incidence, the ratio of sine of angle of refraction is always constant for a given medium. For a given medium. So let's say that we are talking about air and water over here. In first case, we have angle of incidence 30 degree and we will get certain value of angle of refraction. In the second case, we change the angle of incidence. Let's say now this angle of incidence is 60 degrees and for that we will get another value of refraction. So the angle of incidence changes, then angle of refraction also changes definitely. But when we take the ratio of the two, it will remain same. So whether you take the angle of sine of 30 degree upon, let's say that sine of 25 degrees according to the water. Okay, and in the next case, let's say that you are taking sine of angle of 60 degree, and this case, let's say sine of angle of 50 degree. Then again, the ratio in both the cases will remain constant. This is just an example. Okay, don't take this. This is not a mathematical calculation. Just for knowledge purpose. Then this value will remain constant. Then this value will also remain constant for given medium in both the cases. I hope it is clear to you, students. This second law of refraction is also known as Snell's law. The second law of refraction is also known as Snell's law. What happens in the board examination at the time is that they ask, write the Snell's law. So basically you are supposed to write the second law of refraction. Not the first one, only the second one. Okay? And this constant is given by the symbol mu or eta. Okay? This is a Greek alphabet mu and this Greek alphabet eta. I hope it is clear to you, students.